In this video, I want to talk about how to graph a rational function that's linear over linear. So let's go ahead and start by finding the vertical and horizontal asymptotes. So let's start with the vertical asymptotes. So to find the vertical asymptotes, we set the denominator equal to 0. So 4x plus 3 equals 0. And we can move the 3 over, so 4x equals negative 3. And we divide by 4, so x equals negative 3/4. Okay, so let's go ahead and graph that. This is going to be a vertical line where x is equal to negative 3/4, which is going to be somewhere around there. Oops. And then we'll do this and this. Okay, so that's our vertical asymptote. Now let's look at our horizontal asymptote. So horizontal asymptote, in this case, remember that we have the same degree. The degree on the top is the same as the degree on the bottom. So we're just going to take these leading coefficients and divide them. And our horizontal asymptote is going to be y equals negative 2/4, which is the same as y equals negative 1/2. So our horizontal asymptote is going to be y equals negative 1/2. So like this. Oops. It's not quite horizontal. Okay, that looks pretty good. So something like that. Okay, so now I just need to figure out where the graph goes in here. So I'm going to make a little chart and plug in some values for x and see what y is. So let's start by plugging in maybe 0 and 1, and then we could plug in negative 1 and negative 2. Okay, so 0 is going to give me, these are both 0, so just negative 1/3, which will be right about here. And then 1 will give me, let's see, negative 2 minus 1 is negative 3, and then negative 3/7. So negative 3/7. So 1 is going to be negative 3/7 is, it's smaller, let's see, it is compared to 1/3, it is closer to 1/2 than 1/3. So it's going to be like down here, a little bit closer to the asymptote. Okay. And then negative 1 will give us positive 2 minus 1 is just 1 over negative 1 here is going to give us negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. So negative 1 is going to be negative 1. So negative 1 is right here. And then negative 2 is going to give us positive 4 minus 1 is 3 on top. And 8, let's see, negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5 on the bottom. So negative 3/5. And you can always use your calculator for this too. So negative 2 gives us negative 3/5, which is like 0.6. So it's close to that asymptote there. So now that we know where we have some points, we can go ahead and graph it. As we move over here, we can get closer and closer to that asymptote. And then we know that we need to get closer and closer to this asymptote, and that it is going to go up toward that asymptote. Same thing over here, we know it's going to go down toward the asymptote, and then over here we know it's going to go over toward the asymptote. And that's how we graph a rational function that's linear over linear.